So you have these pop-ups.
The 5 gems.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the offers for 5 gems? And like 3 times during the session. They're super, super aggressive.
No.
I think I never saw this
It's
ever.
basically like a rewarded push to
a rewarded
the store.
push for an offer.
It's amazing. I was like, this is the most aggressive thing I've ever seen. They're giving me 5 gems just to click to the store. So I might buy it.
Do you think that's going to be like adopted by, you know, hybrid casual games?
This is a no bullshit gaming show where we talk about games and their revenue in great detail, powered by our ad monetization, game design, and user acquisition triple threat expertise. Welcome to the 2.5 Gamers, the unfiltered truth served with a side of giggles. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously. Tune in now and stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is Felix acting as Mache. Welcome to this special episode of 2.5 Gamers, where we have a special guest. And everyone knows him. Everyone knows he works as Koali. He's not the SVP, but he is the VP. John
Mr.
Wright.
Vice President.
Mr. Vice President is joining us again.
Yes, you call me Mr. Vice President. You know?
Mr. Vice President. Today we're doing a special episode. But before that, hi, my name is Felix Braberg.
Hi, I'm Jakub Remia.
And we are your... Oh yeah, and John, yeah.
And me, I was like, and I'm Mr. Vice President John Wright, if you haven't heard already.
Exactly.
And we are your hosts. And today we're doing a very special episode. It's very special because of 2 reasons. First reason is that Mathieu is taking a well-deserved holiday. So I will be covering the UA because I am the second best UA manager on the podcast.
Yeah.
And what makes it special as well is that we're covering a newly launched game by Netmarble called Solo Leveling, which Remo and John are very excited about.
So Leveling Rise.
So Leveling Rise, obviously.
Rise.
Yeah.
Don't forget the end. Very important.
Without much further to do, the game looks amazing. Currently on mobile, it started off making about 2 mil a day. Now it's currently still making about a month after launch, about 1 million a day.
I'll get to the numbers. No worries.
But that's what makes it interesting, right? So let's turn it over to Jakub and John, and then let's talk about this beautiful game.
Yeah. So actually, this few next months it will be like and it's already packed with anime games. So I guess this is probably not the last time we're talking about these, because there were 3 big, or let's say there are 3 big games that we're closely following. One is Solo Leveling Rise, which we're going to talk today.
Yep.
There was the other game that was released by Kuro, which is Wuthering Waves, which is also currently making 1.3 million a day. And then on July the 4th, there's the 3rd game from the Genshin guys, Zenless Zone Zero from MiHoYo, which also everybody will be looking for how it will perform.
Let's see if it's going to be cannibalization on cannibalization, right? Let's see if they've managed to crack a new audience, or it's going to be eating sharks again.
I mean, that's kind of the big question, right? Because that's a theme me and Jakub have argued about a lot of the times when we're covering these anime-style games, right? Because basically, my understanding is that they're also chasing around a pool of users that monetize very, very well. But basically, that pool of users might be anywhere between 24 to maybe 35 million globally, right? So
yeah, that's the thing that like I also want to talk a little about today, which is like the anime game segment by itself. Let me share the screen as we go, and we can, because like the important factor here is that rather than some of our industry peers think, this is actually getting a little bit more mainstream than it did before. One thing that's like just few highlights that I've seen a few months is that, for instance, we got first images to look at the new Lord of the Rings movie, which is done exactly as you see on the screen in fully anime style. There we go. So can't wait for this one. This should be the War of the Rohirrim by the end of the year. The other interesting tidbit that I found, that Blackstone bought the biggest Japanese manga firm for 1.7 billion this month.
It's all fun and games until Blackstone steps in.
So you can see the importance of anime right now. The other thing is that One Piece is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and the franchise is estimated to be worth 21 billion. It was of course featured with the live action series now on Netflix to everybody else outside there, and it's still going, if I understand correctly. It's already past 1,100 chapters in the manga, and anime over 1,000 episodes. So this is the last anime from the big three, as we used to say during the old times. That's still going. Big three being Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. And One Piece is still holding the line there. Naruto, I would say, also kind of holding, but it's Boruto now, whereas Naruto ended. Yeah, Boruto. So yeah, you can see that. The other interesting thing, I always found these charts that were done on Sensor Tower. I don't know where and when, but there's this kind of an interesting chart that comes from time to time. This is from November 23, which has all the games from anime segment ordered and their monthly revenue, and you can see that.
Only mobile, or is that also including the web shops and Steam and web?
How would they know? It's only mobile.
Yeah,
so you could see some of the things here with the list starting with like 54 million with Genshin last November, Nikke 30 mil, Honkai 20 mil, Puzzle and Dragons 80. This is all games that are using the anime style of art, not really like based on anime or something. This is just like, but the audiences and everything. And yeah, you can see let's say the last game on the list is, this is making pretty low revenue here, but still somewhere in the middle, you're still like 2 million a month. So there's a lot of stuff there that's been faring. So now to the games, so we don't kind of go too far away from the scratch. So Solo Leveling Arise launched on March 20th, 2024. To something like 2.7 million a day, and now it's kind of stabilized. It's stabilized, not going still kind of that low, to something like 700, 650k a day, with downloads wise also stabilizing to something like, I don't know, 60k a day. But the important thing is you need to keep in mind, and you'll see very soon, this thing was also released on PC version and will be later this year released also on Steam in Q3. So they had a proper cross-platform release. The PC client is amazing. We'll go through it shortly. But just saying, this is pretty much on the heels of the games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, where you have a game that's completely cross-platform, fully functional, both on mobile, both on PC. I guess they're just missing the console launch, and there they go. So it's a fully fledged AAA mobile game. Regarding the source material, this is also interesting. So the Solo Leveling manhwa, not manga, which is also a big difference because this is a Korean comic. These are called manhwas, not mangas. So just a little bit of history for everyone here. This was actually written in 2016. And then only now it was produced into television series, which also aired during the launch of the game, which was great. And the series is great also. And the game is pretty much following it to the last line. And as we finish the thing, just like a little bit of a look on the Wuthering Waves, where they are, as they launch on May 21st, and currently doing 1.3 mil, as I said. I guess this was some kind of a gacha pool, this spike, I would expect. And then the last chart that we will be all looking at is the MiHoYo guys, Genshin and Honkai, which you clearly see that if I just take out Honkai from the chart, you see how Genshin pretty much drops, but if I put Honkai back, you see that the line is pretty much stable, which means heavy cannibalization, as we talked there. So everybody's eagerly waiting what Zenless Zero will do.
Let me stop here. So basically, it is kind of true then that basically the pool of users is about maybe 25 million people that play these type of games, and basically all these companies are competing for these users.
The users that are attracted to games that MiHoYo does. It's also mainly, I guess, because the progression is completely the same. It's just the core is different. Genshin is an open world game where you have characters that kind of jump in, jump back. Similarly to Soul Leveling, these guys are kind of very, very similar to that core. But Honkai Star Rail is a squad-based RPG, turn-based, with heavy autoplay features. So that's a different core, but in the end, the progression, the mechanics, the story are very similar to Genshin. So that's why they're probably cannibalizing the audience. The Zenless Zero also had the same progression, but they have this kind of hack and slash. Actually, it's very similar to Soul Leveling. So it will be like Battle of the Big, and we'll see probably heavy overlap with the audiences there. So let's see there. Okay.
Although I've got to say, Jakub, in the last couple of years, I do see a lot more people gravitating towards anime-influenced games, right? There has been a rise, especially in the West. I do feel it's becoming more, say, fashionable for people to like stuff like Bleach off the Netflix live adaptations. There's definitely a trend of more people becoming, interested in this area. So I do think, at least if we were looking at splitting this by, say, the US, like I feel like APAC would be flat, but I feel like the US would steadily be growing. I don't know for sure because I haven't checked the data, but I would surmise that there's some growth there.
Yeah. Like US, if you look here regarding downloads wise and revenue wise, is the third biggest country here after China and Japan, of course, in Genshin, but it's still third. Of course, there's the usual suspects, South Korea and Taiwan, and then we have Germany, and then we have Canada later somewhere there, and so on and so forth. So it's still strong in the US, but definitely not the strongest. That's still to be said. If we, for instance, take the picture on Soul Leveling Rise and check the country filter there, how the revenue composition is there, it's definitely stronger, I would say. You see that the US is already doing something like 17% of the revenue. It's on the second spot after South Korea. So this is definitely much stronger in the US than the usual kind of targeting of MiHoYo. I guess it's also because that the game is fully dubbed, the anime is fully dubbed, everything's kind of custom there. So it's not really just kind of going for Korea and overlapping to the West. It's like fully global kind of targeting.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm summarizing there, like why people should care is basically that this is moving more and more mainstream in the West, and basically we'll see more and more growth from this genre in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also bringing, it's all two set of monetization mechanics, which is the power of Asian gacha, which is unmatched, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Compared to the Western model of gacha games or loot box games.
Explain the difference for someone who's just joining the podcast and hasn't listened to any episodes previously.
Yeah, so these Asian games, they have much bigger spend depths because they work on a premise that to get these characters, and let me just get to the gacha, you have literally very, very small chances to get them. Because if we go to the rates, it's just like 0.6% on the rate top. So normally it's 0.04%, whatever. So usually all these games work on PT timers, meaning that you have a fixed PT timer. They have very, very similar pool to Honkai and Genshin, where it's pretty much guaranteed that at some kind of a cap, which is 80 draws from the gacha, you will have 100% chance to get a character that's you're going for. I don't know which one is the PT timer here, because in Genshin it's like 50% for the character on the event banner, and then the next one is 100%, so you can get to 100%, but it's a lot of money. A lot of money for a character that you still need to invest another shitload of money in to make it work and catch up to your current team.
Although, Jakub, I have got Alicia Blanc, and I got her from a standard gacha pool and not paid a penny.
Oh,
so
really?
You can get it, yeah.
Of course.
I got her yesterday as part of the event.
Did you get like an intern at Koali to play for you?
No, I play my own games, thank you. I can sit in my private office, put my feet up on the desk and play my own games. That's what the benefit of being the boss.
Did you have her in the rate up wish list? Or no?
I did have her in the wish list, yes.
Yeah. So this is the thing. This is actually coming, I guess, a little bit very contrary from the West to the East, where Asian games are trying to mitigate a little bit these kind of very, very low percentages where they literally help you. So it's basically standard feature these times. I think Genshin and Honkai, they don't have that, but this game has it, AFK Journey has it, AFK Arena had it, like a lot of these kind of Asian games has it, where you can pretty much boost up the chance for your character that you really want. So the game gives you a better chance of having a better chance of getting it, pretty much through this wishlist mechanic. I also got, I literally got the SSR on the first pool here.
Oh,
first
really?
time pool.
Okay.
Yeah, on custom.
It took me a long time, like every day grinding, every day.
So I got on the first pool. I got the lion guy there. Then I got Emma when I was rolling for Alicia, and then the PT timer hit.
Start with the game, please. We're going down a rabbit hole.
This important thing. It's monetization.
We have a lot to cover in the monetization and the aggressiveness of some of the features here. I've got some stuff to say.
Not even one interstitial ad. No interstitial ads. It's not
No,
that
man,
You
aggressive.
don't need it when you've got IAPs, like one-off IAPs for £25 to unlock a certain character, and people are paying for it. Why do you need to spam people? Give people, look at this, it's treble A. Look at the production value. You don't need interstitial breaking. It's beautiful. Get into gameplay. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go into gameplay.
We're at the same place as well. I'm on chapter 8, but I've done the side missions.
Yeah. Okay. You talk now, Johnny. I play. So let's do that.
Okay, so I mean, look, from my side, guys, obviously it's kind of the traditional sort of treble A auto battler. So what you're going to see in the top left-hand side, after sort of the entry animation, you've gone into the story that actually mimics the anime quite well. So your character, who's Junwoo, who's the protagonist, essentially he goes into a dungeon raid. He's what we call a hunter. So a hunter is people with special abilities that are born into the world, and they go into dungeons and try and basically save the world from monsters coming out of the dungeons.
No. They're trying to save it from fossil fuels because they're farming clean energy.
Okay, you don't have to get into the real minutiae here, okay? I'm giving the highlights. But look, the basics
Let's
is...
say highlights.
The basics is your character, the protagonist, he's trying to save the world, right? So these gates open up, and these monsters, after 7 days, these monsters just start spilling out the gates unless the hunters go through, kill this dungeon boss. So what Jakub's doing right here is he's fighting through the low-level mobs. He has a plethora of abilities in the bottom right, and the idea
without
is that,
hands.
but this is also traditional auto battler, right? If you look in the top left, you can see that you can either have like auto, semi, or play. And the idea is that,
especially put it into like even 3 settings. So you can have semi-auto for fighting, only auto attack, and you press the skills, and then auto as for moving to the mobs. You can also automate that.
Yeah. So the idea, and they've got a nice little animation scene here for the super move, right? So the idea here is very simply, you can either play it as if you would a Steam or PC game, right? Where you're actually fighting through and controlling the character yourself. Or if you're one of those people that just want to grind, right? Or do the meta and of worrying about the collectibles and the vanity and all of the other stuff, you can literally just set it to autoplay. They also have like skip functionality in some of the other sort of
the gates mode. Yeah, sweep mode.
Yeah, exactly. So we have the sweep function, which also, again, ties into the monetization. You have a certain amount of sweeps on the gates that you can do per day. There's after a certain grade, so the gates go from E to S, which is also in line with the anime. And anything over a gate A you have to do, or you have to pay for a subscription or something else to be able to do that. So there's just many, many hooks. And so obviously you can see on the left-hand side, there's some achievements and some missions as well.
Stylish ranking.
And yeah, you've got your S ranking sort of stuff as well. But all in all, production value is extremely high. This can be played as a mobile game very easily because of the auto function and not worrying about being sort of too clunky on a mobile. It will translate onto PC console very, very nicely, the same way that Mihoho has done. And all in all, like I said, and also the depths of the characters, the different power-ups, the progression system, the different weapons that you can get. This is, I would say JRPG classic influence with Auto Battler, but obviously very, very Korean influenced. And also, I've got to say, I love the fact it's a Korean manhwa. It's not manga. What did you say it was called, Jakub? Manhwa. I love it's a Korean manhwa, and it's also Netmarble is a Korean dev.
Yeah, it's one of the big N's, Korean NCSoft, Netmarble, and Nexon.
So yeah, I love the fact they kept it, in the family, so to speak.
Yeah. Like, do I get that right? The anime was pretty much created together with the game, because it's literally like if you watch the anime, it's like a tutorial. Actually, it literally teaches you like what to do, like how to do daily quests, and the guy gets punished for not doing his daily quest. They even has this mechanic that you can heal on the last point if you did your daily quest because that auto heals you. So they have it like everything is like so synced up. It's literally created by one person.
But the thing is though, there's quite a few animes in the similar format, Jakub, right? You have these like I was reincarnated as a slime, right? You know, it's a bit different in the sense of with slime, you start opening the anime, the protagonist gets stabbed to death and awakens in a different world, right? And then it's like he's awoken as this slime in another dimension, universe, whatever. But he's still a player. In this, what the character does is he unlocks the ability to be a player. And in the lore of the manhwa, essentially everyone who's a hunter is born with a certain amount of power, a certain amount of mana, right? Which is, you know, the normal HP, MP sort of RPG thing. And through like a very graphic, very sort of quite scary.
By the way, the anime is super graphic, Attack on Titan level graphic. People get chopped to pieces in the first episode, literally.
Exactly. So it's very gory, but he ends up completing something what they call a secret quest or secret mission. And then he unlocks like a super abilities, which, you know, he becomes a player. And it's kind of weird. It's like they're living in the Matrix almost. It's like, you know, it's like they're in a digital world. They just don't know it. And now he's a player. He can see it's a digital world. And he even says, like, it feels like a game. So he's looking at it like that way. It's very strange.
For me, this is literally like a very nice kind of spiritual successor to Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
For everybody to know, it's an anime about kids fighting in a virtual world and trying to beat an RPG. This is literally built around the RPG tropes and elements and stereotypes. Like people pretty much going around like, oh, these noobs, those are C ranks, D ranks, they cannot take this boss. We need a healer. There are no healers around, which is again the usual thing that happens in MMORPGs. So it's all really, really designed towards people that play RPGs to kind of feel related to all these situations. It's done very, very nicely. I must say, like, I was really, really pushed to the limit what these things can do and how they can like organize it, and never seen it before. Sword Art Online had few of the games, but I don't think so at this kind of level of sync within the anime ever.
Yeah, I agree. There was a few mobile games. There's also PC console games of Sword Art, right?
Yeah.
And obviously there's different styles to Sword Art depending on the season, and there's a lot that you can do with it, basically. But yeah, all in all, I think very much in line. Even like the keys for the instant dungeon, you collect keys in the game, and that's part of the whole anime lore. Is, you know, after you've started leveling up as a player, and where the solo leveling name comes from is the fact that he as a player has the ability to solo level in these instant dungeons, which are a different dimension where people can't see, and he goes in there after doing some training. I don't know if you noticed, Jakub, but his training schedule is the One Punch.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. This anime is pretty much when One Punch Man and Sword Art Online had a child.
Yeah. Yeah, Felix has no idea what we're talking about right now. I can see Felix's face. He's just like going. Felix is about to go into a different dimension. He's going to fall through the.
Hey guys, like I pay hybrid casual and like pretty much I watch games on my phone. Like I watch ads for a living. Like this is just. Yeah.
Yeah, let me do it.
Sorry, Jakub, go on, carry on.
No, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, this is the sort of game, though, where people will spend $500 or $1,000.
Yes,
you know?
very easily.
It's monstrous. Just like the amount of gacha pull that you need to get, say, your star character or your star sort of weapon, like the SSR version of your weapon and character, like, and because of the amount of depths of characters, like. Yeah, you can literally spend hundreds of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands.
But this segment, right? Like, let's say this segment, like, hypothetically made $5 billion last year, and this year they're going to make $5 billion. Has it changed the segment? Like, is it growing, or is it kind of just the same? And these new games just come out, and they make roughly the same, like as a market.
I think it's definitely growing because you
have. Up.
Just look at how much Netflix is investing into anime production and how they're trying to.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus also. Yeah, see? Go watch Cartoon Network. See how many times they air Naruto during the day. Yeah. It's pretty much that this audience, you know, it's growing up because Naruto's what, like 17 years old, 16 years 20. Old? Yeah. And remember, Naruto is that type of anime like Harry Potter where the character grows up with you. Yeah. The last season of Naruto was completely different genre even than the first season where it's like a kids anime. So these people grow up and they want to have the content for them, and now they have the money to buy it. So yeah, it's definitely something that I think will be growing up. Let's maybe leave this one and let's talk about the power layers in a little bit more kind of concerned fashion, because regarding the core, as you see, is actually following I would say the closest one as a reference I would put Genshin Impact. Even though it's not open world, it's still corridor based, but it has the system of hack and slash RPG where you can take different characters from your party to fight with you or as you during the gameplay, but not all at once, even though they have some kind of missions all at once where they need to be there. But some missions, for instance, the gates mechanic, if we go into the gates, where we are, here we are. So this is pretty much your standard daily dungeons that you need to run, the gates mechanic. So if we go here, for instance, let me buy a key for this one. Here we would need to go with Jinwoo and then 3 characters. So the incentive is, to level up your main character and all these other 3 characters. Then we see the passives and, our usual elemental system of the boss, which, for instance, Alicia here, she has a resistance to water, so I guess we shouldn't bring her up, or so on and so forth. Then we have these other missions where I don't know if this is actually the one where, not this one, or maybe let's should do a rescan, because I know some missions. Yeah, there we go. There's a missions where Jinwoo isn't even involved with the missions. It's just your hunters, which again puts the emphasis on you needing to level up also your hunters, not just your main character. Then, if we go to other modes, such as the trials modes, the battlefield trials, it's pretty much one for you only, where you go only with Jinwoo, and then one for your hunters, where you go only with your hunters. So again, different bosses, different things to kind of catch up. Then you have encore missions, where you have just Jinwoo against the bosses from the story, or multiple tiers of progressions.
These are also in line with the anime. These like major boss fights in the anime are completely aligned with this.
The very interesting appointment mechanic that they did here with the gates here is that once you kind of finish the dungeons, and even in the anime, people need to go and harvest these crystals, because these crystals, they sell them and they power the electricity through them so they can have clean energy. So it's actually an ecological anime. But once you have these gates done, you put them here where you need to farm them, where you pretty much, as I finish this one, or maybe let's get the sweep one, so we see how it goes. So let's say this one, let's sweep it. Yeah, there we go. So autocomplete mechanic. And now we have that gate pretty much ready. So we send the mining squad there, and in 3 hours we can pick up the reward. So you again nicely can use these appointment mechanics to like do your sessions, do your sessioning, and it need always come back to the rewards. This is very, very interesting system. I don't think so where I never saw this one. It was always the other way around, where you just select the timers, but here you need to first farm out the timers to even have them. So this is basically your bread and butter. Story mode, we covered that. This is like whole progression is locked behind that. If you push too far, you're gonna get stopped by XP progression, where your character just doesn't have enough XP. XP you mainly gain through gates, where you have these kind of gate missions. First one of the day is the ones that give you XP, then it's just soft currency. So I'm already did mine today.
I also like the replay functionality because of the trophy system. So obviously to get like the story mode, if you want to get like the last
all the rewards and everything.
So the reward, like basically if you go into it, Jakub, you see here, Felix, it has like 1 trophy out of 3. To get like the ultimate reward, which is the 2 gacha pool tickets, like you have to do every
mission fully completed. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
It gives replayability, right? And even though there's a lot of depth of content, it makes you replay it, right? Which is great for session length.
Exactly, and there's also hard mode. So why not do it all over again?
You haven't showed them the best part yet, the rock, paper, scissors game.
Yeah, exactly.
The most frustrating thing in the world.
We're just getting there. By the way, this is amazing. Let's just finish the money part, and then we'll get to the fun part, because the money part is very important. There's also, by the way, an idle mechanic. that you should just go and like collect every day, which a part that's hidden behind the subscription, which is given to you for 4 days for free once you start the game.
Yep.
So literally, these kind of special funds, they are because of this whatever is there, special sweep daily growth support package that is $9.99, and you get these for 4 days instantly, basically once you start the game. So you are going just much faster. So if we just go to the progression layer, so we have Jinwoo and the hunters. We have weapons, artifacts, and bonds and other things. But let's start with Jinwoo. So we have Jinwoo as a basic character. You get him. You increase his stats. These are scripted level based as you progress. You have 2 weapons that can go all the way to SSR. You have your kind of classes, which is assassin, knight, again some kind of scripted progression as you kind of grow bigger, faster, more badass, so on and so forth. But the money part is mainly behind the weapons, the artifacts, which can be enhanced. By the enhancing of the artifact is very interesting because you select the tier, let's say 13, and then you auto enhance, and the system just tries and pops up currency. So you're just looking at this auto enhancing itself, but you see how the chance goes down very fast. So it's just now 30%, otherwise I'm just burning resources. But yeah, there we go. So nothing was done there. This is another layer. Then you have skills. These have runes, which can be crafted. Again, another giant progression layer, which you can get. You can then level them up, so on and so forth. So lots of standards. Usually everything is gated by soft currency and a special gating currency in this kind of a combo. So soft currency spreads around all the layers together with these other specific currencies. And then we had the hunters themselves, which are gacha based. They also need a weapon, and they need also duplicates. So they increase their level once your character increases their level. So the level cap is based on your main character, but you can have multiple copies of those, which I don't even need to tell you how much money it will cost you to get another kind of SSR character to unlock all her other skills that she has here with whatever, like pretty much these stars. So for instance, this character is 2 stars, so I already like 82 duplicates of him and slam it into him basically. The other thing is, again, these guys also need artifacts, same as you. The weapons that they have, they are different to the weapons that Jinho uses, so kind of very specific weapons. And then, of course, they also have their own skills that you need to level up, again, based on special currency. So loads and loads of things to spend on.
The weapons also have the same advanced system, which is when you combine the weapons and you get like boosts based on like it's actually a merge mechanic.
Yeah, exactly.
You merge like 5 swords together and it becomes a top sword.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have not the Jinwoo weapon, but hunter weapons. Yeah, I have this kind of this one I already put on like 2nd star, whatever. That just 8 access that I can kind of slam into it. So same as characters, pretty much another power progression layer that's gacha based and that eats a lot of duplicates. So all these things are coming from the main gacha pools. Again, works very similar to Genshin and Honkai in a way. You have the reward event banners, which are on limited time, and then you have your custom banner, which you never want to spend your hard currency on. You want to spend just the tickets that the game gives you, and all the hard currency usually you want to spend on these event banners because you have a chance or rate up of a character that you're chasing in, where here we have the rate up list, which is mitigating the low drop chance of the characters that we want to get. That's there. Finishing the monetization. So some of the tricks that these guys are doing. This offer systems and all the offers within the game never leave their notification ever. Ever. It's annoying as hell.
The red flag on the shop is annoying me every session.
Nothing. It doesn't even go off when you buy something?
No, nothing. You can go scroll through this all the time. It just sits there. Then there's this girl, which is pretty much...
Some of my clients need to pay attention.
Yeah. So
I've been trying to argue this. Like,
this
notifications make money.
This girl is the money maker because she has these 2 notifications always on. One is the Hunter Growth monthly bundles, which are 2 subscriptions, and then there's this Hunter Association benefits, which is pretty much a giant membership card that you need to buy. And this one, $9.99 a month, which is just giving you bigger kind of engagement levels of like 1 more mission, 1 more blah blah blah, 1 more this, 1 more that, so you can do more pretty much with less time. Then they have this thing that these offers that pop up, for instance, this one, yeah, of course, why should we leave the notifications if I already see it? Never. They literally bribe you to go look at them. So you have these pop-ups.
The 5 gems.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the offers for 5 gems? And like 3 times during the session. They're super, super aggressive.
No.
I think I never saw this,
It's
ever.
basically like a rewarded push to
a rewarded
the store.
push for an offer.
It's amazing. I was like, this is the most aggressive thing I've ever seen. They're giving me 5 gems just to click to the store. So I might buy it.
Do you think that's going to be like adopted by, hybrid casual games in like the next 12 months? Because I've never seen that before.
I don't know, but it's like you know how stingy Honkai and Genshin is compared to this? Like
Predatory.
You have
Someone
these...
say stingy, others said predatory, but go ahead. Yes.
No, man. They're not predatory. They're using the same, like both are same predators, just like better weapons. So these guys, for instance, you talk to these NPCs. Always you talk to the NPCs, you have 5 gems. In Honkai and Genshin, you have like sometimes you get some gems, and you need to talk to everybody all the time, for instance. And the offers, let's get to special summons offer. This is like a baby of its own.
This one, This is the best thing I've ever seen in monetization. This is the most aggressive thing I've ever seen. Please describe this, because this nearly got me. This nearly made me spend money on this game. If it wasn't like £22, I would have spent money.
Yeah, can we do 15 more draws here? Can we do that? Oh no, we can. We need to
make you do that. Yeah. It's like push another IAP. Push another IAP.
So what this does basically, you get to 5 times do a 10 roll on a gacha, and you get to select which rolls did you like from all of those 15 rolls. So these are that you see here are the rolls that I really liked, and I pushed them into the offer. And now I can go and select these rolls and literally buy them.
For those of you who have not been to Las Vegas, this is how a slot machine works.
No, man. This is a slot machine that you dictate what it should roll, and then you pay for it.
Exactly. It's like you know what the result's going to be, and then you give more money because you know it's going to be the result you want. It's amazing.
So yeah, I don't think so. I ever see this one yet. Like
but also, it's got a subscription as well as a purchase, so it's like you don't have to just spend €26. Don't worry about that, baby. You can spend €10, but it's per month. Okay.
Yeah, this is really amazing. Like some of the things that these guys do regarding monetization is like amazing. The shop itself, by the way, is also pretty massive. You have all of these monthly bundles, special currencies, step up stuff, one by one. All of them. They have off progression offers only when you level up, double up, whatever mission offers. Yeah, claim it, please claim it. No, you need to buy it.
Pay. Yeah, claim this offer and pay €26 for the privilege. The privilege of claiming this offer. Crazy.
So this is basically like advanced version of piggy bank. You keep progressing and then it kind of unlocks itself, but in order to claim it, you need to buy it. Yeah.
Oh, but don't forget they have the hard mission pack as well, which is different. You've got to do both, which is separate.
Where we are. This is hard currency anchor and exchange shop. Yeah, this is just like so many currencies. Yeah, let's go to the fun part. This is really fun part. So the event system. By the way, they have a gacha in the game. It really is a gacha. For those not watching,
it's a gacha for a gacha.
Yeah, it's literally a capsule gacha from Japan, which you can go and literally pick and draw and put a coin in and roll.
So I've already got the SSR. This is Alicia's SSR.
Yeah, the Alicia's weapon.
So I've already got this. I've already unlocked it.
Yeah. Then you have these kind of dungeon exploration packages where it just rewards you based on points on the leaderboard, so on and so forth. Some tournaments, again, another thing. There's even a banner that announces the next event. It's going to be around there. And now, the famous rock, paper, scissors.
Let's go, baby.
So
let's go.
Rock, paper, scissors is this kind of a mini game that you play in order to get rewards. And yeah, you select one of the rocks, papers, and scissors kind of weapons, but the thing is that you see what the other, like
it's tactical.
Yeah, it's very tactical. So Sita has only scissors.
Click rock, and destroy her. She beats me all the time. I'm very upset. Click rock.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. We did it. We beat her.
This is what happens basically. Now she has only scissors, and
You
we
can't
don't
win.
have scissors,
You can
but we
draw.
can draw. We can draw, or we can go and do the where is the store?
Missions.
No. You can actually exchange for
I
money
didn't see
different
this.
boosters to kind of continue, because you can not only do this, you can also go and exchange the rewards. So, for instance, if I want this weapon enhancement gear to scroll, it costs 30 kind of this currency that you win when you beat the lady. So this is a very, very nice event that they're running here. And it's actually pretty tactical. Again, never seen that ever.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
So,
What do you think is going to be the first collaboration event?
this one, I don't
do you
know,
think?
but like for me, it's gonna be something pretty big. Sword Art Online would fit really, really well.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online super well. Like,
So, Felix, just so you know, there's a big sort of trend in these style of games where they get collaboration events with other sort of animes, right? So
Yeah.
you would see like a character from, Dragon Ball Z
or
in
One Punch Man. One Punch Man
One
would
Punch
work very
Man
well.
in a Naruto game, and
It's like YouTube creators collaborations when they do like a little sprinkle on the other channels.
But
Exactly
it
the
stays
same.
forever. You get the character into the event banner from a gacha, and it stays within the game forever.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
So-
and I also think like things like Call of Duty were influenced by this, right? Like you have those like in Call of Duty, I have like Shredder and Rambo, right? And these other characters that I bought on a limited time event in Call of Duty, and that was 2 years ago, and I still use those characters like 2 years later, right?
Yeah,
And
why
they're
wouldn't you use
limited
Rambo
time.
all the time? That makes complete sense.
It's Rambo.
I mean, I do use Rambo or Shredder. I only go for the geek ones, I'm not buying like the tactical ones, which have like the camo gear, and like I'm looking. I've got a purple cape running around, everyone's shooting me.
Yeah.
So
Just finishing some of the things they have there. There's still loads of content that we either didn't even talk about or unlock for, such as like another game modes that are locked behind chapter 10, chapter 15, chapter 9, chapter 14. This one isn't even updated in the game, so it's literally like a carrot on a stick. Wait, players are gonna update it later, because even if I check their website, actually, if you go to their website, you can pre-register for the update itself. So the next update is going to be the Demon King Baran update, and you can pre-register to get the rewards. So these guys are not pre-registering for installation; they're pre-registering to even get you on the update. To be honest, because that's how these games monetize. If you see Genshin Honkai's revenue, the biggest spikes, and why this game will probably do a spike similarly like we see here in Wuthering Waves, where it can spike to 4 million a day, will be because there will be a new gacha pool. When the gacha pool and reward banner ends on Alicia and Min, if I understand correctly, which will be exactly in 4 days and 9 hours, where the game revenue will again spike up. That's how these games live. It's very, very kind of a content driven. Not you shouldn't look at the current baseline as like, oh, this game is going down. No, the moment the revenue spike, the new banner hits, the revenue spikes up. That's kind of pretty much granted. So what's the overall feel, John? How far did you get, by the way?
I'm literally the same place as you, dude. I'm chapter 8. But I've done the good thing about this one, whilst the chapters do follow the story, there's also these like sub chapters. So off of like chapter 6, there's like 3 different subsects of it. So if you go, see here, sub quests or sub chapter.
Yep.
So you basically you can go through, and there's more depth of side missions and stuff like that. So I'm on chapter 8, which is basically where you are, dude. We're about the same level. I'm 27. I think you're 28.
Yep.
I think the most amazing thing for me, though, is that all of us, or both of us, have had SSR characters and weapons, and even though we haven't done any in-app purchases. So it does show that you can, through grinding, make it work. So the balancing, I think, is in a good place. However, they might rebalance it and make it more difficult in the next couple of months if it continues to not see a high level of percentage of paying users, right?
To be honest, this I would call the Asian gacha game honeymoon period. Because the important thing that, let's say how these games are played, they're even played based on this reroll mechanic. Reroll mechanic means that you start the gacha game over and over and over until some point in the game where the game gives you faster, a lot of free resources to throw at the gacha until you get the character that you want. If you don't get that, you restart the game and repeat this process all over and over. This is standard thing with these games. And this is how it actually works. If you go in these games, if I complete the story and all these missions until I get stuck, and until the period I get stuck, it's throwing resources at me. All these pools, all these SSRs, everything's look like walk in the park. But once I get really stuck and I get to the grinding phase, it will be then very hard. And usually I think these games make the most money on like something like second, third event banner. I remember when I was playing Honkai very, very kind of intensively, pretty much every day, I could get like every third character from the event banners just staying free to play, but just every third banner. So it means every three weeks, basically. Otherwise, I would need to pay. Even though I did everything I could regarding the game resources that I could get, but I still wouldn't be able to get every single time an event banner character. So these games, I think it's just a slow start, and then they kind of continue the machine of these spikes on event banners and continue. So I don't expect any rebalancing, to be honest. It's just they will actually throw more resources at you because you will need more stuff to upgrade, actually. They will increase the spend then, because what will usually happen is that our friend Jinhu, who is currently, I don't know, doing, I don't know how many progression tiers, artifacts, skills, I don't know, basic stuff.
Yeah, rune crafting.
Yeah, whatever. Even by the way, very, very stylish clothes and skins that you can get and buy. What's gonna happen? They're gonna add another progression layer. So literally, this tab on the bottom, there's gonna be a new tab added in with the thing that you will need to collect then, which will be locked behind the end game, which will extend the end game progression and will be the best thing to farm from. And this will continue on and on and on and on and on.
Okay, Jakub, I feel like we've spoken a lot about game, product, and lore. I feel like we should probably get Felix to talk about something before the end of this. So, Felix, UA, hit us.
Yeah, UA.
Yeah. So there we go.
Of course, this being a AAA title, there's no ads, no banners, no interstitials, and no rewarded. Because as John so pointedly and astutely pointed out, what is the point if you're earning $2 million a day and you've won capitalism to even enhance capitalism with ads, right? So
by the way, just saying, the game earns much more than we see because it's on PC client. Just saying, probably double than what we see.
Did you show the web shop? There's no web shop, right? Yeah.
I don't think so. There's no the web shop, but if you buy stuff through PC client, it's basically the web shop.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we're gonna go through the UA stuff, right? So I'm gonna put on my mate cap, and I got my fake tattoos here, and we're as the second best UA manager on the podcast. We're gonna now talk about the UA. So. Solo Leveling, Arise did a very hardcore push for their pre-registration. Not as hardcore as we saw on Squad Busters, but essentially on the 23rd of May, they opened up here a pre-registration. And from announcement from the company, I can see that the company had 12 million pre-registrations worldwide. Is that kind of in line what you guys were expecting for this type of genre? So, point of comparison, right? Squad Busters famously had 50 million pre-registrations, just as a point of comparison.
I think like it's...
look, Squad Busters, cross-promotion from two of the biggest, DAO games of the last 5 years. I think if you compare 40 million to this, I think this is actually done better.
Yeah.
In terms of target audience.
And in terms of converting to installs, I guess, maybe. Because the thing is that we still, for instance, like first day, second day, they were doing something like million and a 300K per day downloads. But keep in mind, a lot of people will play this only through PC client. A lot of them. You'll never see them on mobile, ever.
Yeah. So normally when I was back working in a mobile publisher, pre-registrations, you were lucky if you got 50% of them signing up for the game. But I imagine for this type of genre, it's a lot higher than basically any other game. But that's the first thing that sticks out, right? So looking at the network mix, which is pretty much the first interesting point, you can see here that the amount of downloads on release day, May 8th, is significant. And then it basically drops down to what we're seeing now. And now we're seeing about, in the US, about 9,000 downloads per day.
Yeah, US only.
In US only, right? And you can see here that the network mix is almost exclusively. You see a little AdMob, little AppLovin, a little bit of BitMachine, a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of MOB, a little bit of Instagram, and a little bit of Liftoff. But when you scroll down, you see that majority of the spend is taking place on YouTube. And that's where they're spending most of their firepower, right? If we shift this to South Korea, you see it changes a little bit, but not too much. Pretty much the same spike, the same spend on AdMob. Noticeably, they're spending a bit more on digital turbines. So yeah, your DSPs, Meta has more spend, but essentially majority of the spend is happening in a very small burst, and it's all happening on YouTube. So as the second best UA manager on the podcast, this means for me obviously only one thing, right? So this means that we're probably should expect some AAA creatives and really high production values, which is exactly the type of UA creatives that they're utilizing. So let me just go in here to the creative gallery.
But I would imagine that because of that like heavy UA spend, that even like emphasizes the thing of the PC client. That people just go directly from PC.
Exactly. But basically, the interesting thing here is that one thing that Mattia always talks about is like the creative mix and the spread on networks here, and you don't see it here, right? So that would be one of my big like issues, I guess, with this game, which maybe they don't need. I'd have to be a Mattia to answer that completely, but essentially, majority of the UA spend is spread across 4 creatives. We're going to watch all of them.
Well, 4 creators only. Okay.
Yeah, 4 creatives. But basically, these 4 creatives, I would say, is like an homage to 2 things: AAA style of games and also rock music, because they heavily utilize very pumping rock music and everything.
No K-pop. You're telling me there's no K-pop in this?
No. So let's watch the first one.
That's a big miss.
This
what
one is
keeping it in the family. What about being pro-Korea, man? Don't cheap out and give some US, some American your music.
So basically, this creative that we're about to watch is they've been running heavily on AdMob, and it's 31% of the impressions that they're showing overall is this creative. So this is by far the most heaviest utilized creative. So let's go.
Arise. Solo Leveling, the very first game adaptation.
So it's basically using anime. Oh no, it's gameplay. Gameplay. Yeah, but the guy's speaking Japanese.
Arise.
Yep.
Play now.
So yeah, exactly what we expect. Like the crossover between a movie and a game.
It's what you want though. Like if you think about it, what people like about these games is the fact it's AAA, high production. It is PC, Steam quality game that you can play on mobile. So people are not looking for some sort of basic ad, right? They want something that has grandeur, something that has like the cinematic element. That it's like a movie trailer, dude. Right? You want to see bits of the whole movie that entice you in. And that's what that does.
I think that also mirrors is where they've been spending. So obviously this was on the AdMob network, right? So this is through Google. So basically this is through the AdMob audience network, I guess. So this is through SDK traffic, right? So you can see the top publishers is all non-gaming and basically also in other Netmarble games. But then rather randomly, you see that Monster Survivors by Voodoo is what's pretty much the first game that we kind of recognize, and basically Bounce and Collect, which is where they're spending significant amount of revenue. So I guess they're targeting those publishers because of the reach that Hyper Casual has. So that's quite interesting to note. Then the second creative that's been getting the most spend, or about 25% in the last month, is on Instagram. So you can see kind of the creative differences here. So let me play that just now.
Can you put just the sound a little bit low?
This is focus on the law.
Yeah, it's basically a movie trailer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Solo lovely. Arise. Play now.
Yeah.
By the way, I think
I don't
this
know
is done.
if you can hear that rock music, but it's very
Yeah,
loud.
we can. Yeah, we can hear it also very loud. No worries. But I think the end card voice is done by the
main protagonist.
English dubbed actor.
Yeah, English speaking actor.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting. I thought they would have focused more on the, Jakub, in the opening episode, the whole thing is around the god, right? Like it's that, and it's freaky as fuck. It looks like Attack on Titan, big
It
teeth.
literally looks like
you know?
Attack on Titan.
It does, right? Like I thought. So you thought the same? I'm surprised because for me it was quite haunting actually. When it smiled, it was very like Attack on Titan reminiscent. And I'm surprised. UGC ad. This is what I was waiting for.
Exactly. This is like the other ads are pretty much similar, like high production values, kind of on YouTube and stuff like that. But the most interesting one, I would say, is getting the least amount of spend, or the least amount of spend is like this UGC type of content. I'm just going to play this right now, but it's basically exactly what you expect: rock music, gameplay.
Yeah, they literally made the same scenes within the anime and within the game, like 1-to-1.
There looks like to be so many different combinations.
I feel like I'm personally watching the animation. Holy shit, this animation is crazy. What is this?
Did he just swear? Did he go holy shit?
Yeah.
No, he didn't swear.
Clean too, dude.
Looks
Yeah, this is the
this is the guy. That really
Bravo,
looks sick.
bravo, Soul Leveling Your Eyes. That's all I have to say.
How can you not play this game if you love the anime?
So they
or
pretty
the
much did a streamer showreel.
Yep, exactly. This is more Steam based, right, dude? Like this is what you'd expect from promoting a game on PC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then you have a couple other ones, but pretty much that's the main ones. And if we look into Japan as well, just to check that, you can see that it's pretty much the same split with the same types of creatives. But I guess that would be, if Matthew were sitting in my seat right now, that would be probably one of the main things that he'd be claiming.
No differences with South Korea?
We can check, but pretty much South Korea, like right now.
I mean, the home ground, like if you look, like the home stuff, just legend. Because even the names and everything that you can see, it's Korean, it's not Japanese.
Yeah, the names like Junwoo is very Korean, right? All of the names,
Seorin and like all these
Korean.
other names, those are like Japanese.
Although, do you know any other big sort of Korean based animes? Like obviously you've got like Immortal King, which is Chinese, right? And they've done the whole like that's in Mandarin rather than you know Japanese, like actually made in Japan and speaking Japanese. So obviously China, Korea, these countries are obviously starting to develop and find success. But I don't know like any other big Korean animes, at least now.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it. Solo Leveling is on 3rd spot on the biggest manhwa of all time, and there's like Horizon, the greatest estate developer, Windbreaker, Season of Blossom, LS Seed. Nothing is saying these things and saying nothing to me. I don't know. I guess we're just much more. Tower of God 19. That's a Tencent game. I know that.
Yeah, Tower of God.
That's adapted again. That's number 19 here. But yeah, most of these, I don't think so. It's just Japanese manga still has the forte in that market, but Korean manhwas and even Korean series, I think they're really, really going breakthrough on Netflix.
The TV series,
TV series, like the TV drama and stuff.
Kingdom? Is it Kingdom?
Yeah, like even take Squid Game for instance. Like
Squid Game.
Squid Game is Korean.
Physical 100.
Yeah.
Love Physical 100.
Yeah.
Yes.
The creative in Korea were exactly the same, just in Korean that we saw in the States. But yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys want to give it a rating?
Of course. You go first, Mate.
Yeah.
Felix.
So let me put on my Felix caps first, since there's no ads, you get a 0 because they're not even competing. So 0 out of 10 on the ad monetization. But as John so astutely pointed out, it doesn't really matter. User acquisition, I have to give them a solid 2 because, they're only working with a couple of networks, and basically, I guess they had a successful pre-registration campaign. But I guess this is one of these type of games that if you know, because they have such a devoted fan base. So which is why you see these download spikes only on the first day, because people are waiting for the pre-registration. So I guess majority of the UA campaigns were taking place then. But the IP here is probably one of the most important things, and that's probably also how they're scaling. So it's a lot of word of mouth, a lot of also probably offline marketing. But yeah,
I was just looking into Reddit. The solo leveling game Reddit has 20k people. The solo leveling manhwa Reddit, like the IP, has 300k Reddit users. Just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go, John.
Yeah, look, I mean, that makes sense. But look, from my side, guys, I think the fact it has no ads gives it a 10. Okay. Look, man. I make money out of ads every day, right? But I'm a purist. Like I know the economies of ads. I love ads to make money, but do I want ads in my treble A experiences? No. So, this is the purist gamer in me. But overall, I think if we look at production value, gameplay, everything like that, it's got to be like a solid 8 to 8.5. There's still some development and stuff, some other things that need to be added. But yeah, overall, it's definitely my type of game. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to keep playing it after this, and I'll probably end up spending some money into it. So,
yeah. I would say for me, it's a solid 9, even 9 plus, basically. What I really hated about this, guys, you can really fix it. Don't force me to log in through Gmail every single time when I'm going through PC client. Please, this can be solved. I don't need to click through more windows. Like Honkai has it on default. Like it's physically possible. And then probably just like few nuisances that I think still can be fixed, and like some stuff that's kind of could be done a little bit better. But other than that, the monetization, like the tricks that we shown today, those are like first ever seen, amazing to me. So that's definitely 9 plus for me.
Yeah. Cool. And on that bombshell, I think it's time to end the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your dogs, cats. Cats particularly love our content.
It's because of your hair. Cats love your hair.
Yeah,
everyone
definitely.
knows that.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to do, John?
Shout outs, obviously. Shout out to Money Matei. He's on a boat with the Slovakian mafia.
In Croatia, Slovak
I'm
Sea.
jealous that he's on a boat and I'm here with you, two schmucks. But it's thank you for the invite as always. I'm always happy to be here and help grow your ratings. Tell a few jokes, but no, a great time. Actually, talking about a game that I really wanted to talk about rather than something that's like
that's great. Like really thank you, Mr. Vice President, for joining us. So now we know what you do in your time, which means you play anime games.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is the Korean sign off. If you don't know what this is the love heart. You do this in Korea. It's the love heart. I used to manage a team in Korea, so I know.
All right.
Pow 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 pow.
Anyway.
All right. Well, let's end it there.
See you guys around.
Thank
See
you.
you next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.